Very nice. Thank you so much for joining this evening, our mindful flow, and it's going to be a quasi slow vinyasa flow tonight. So we are going to be moving through some stretches at the beginning to open up the psoas. And just as a reminder, the psoas is that muscle that starts at the upper thighs and your quadriceps, and it comes all the way into the hips. It wraps through and around the pelvis and then actually connects to the lower back. So anytime you have some lower back tightness or tightness that you feel in the front part of the hips, it's probably the psoas, or it's at least involved. And a lot of times it gets really foreshortened because we are sitting. So when we're sitting, this muscle is, it's already foreshortened and compressed. And so one of the things that we can do that really helps that out is stretch it out in yoga. So what I'm going to suggest to start, it's just a nice passive opener, is to take your blanket and create a kind of a flat bank blanket roll. So you don't want it too high where it's going to make the hips uncomfortable, but we're going to bring ourselves into a supported bridge using the blanket roll. Start my music over again. So we're going to bring that blanket roll. You could use a bolster too if you have a bolster on hand, but if you don't, then the blanket will be sort of the perfect match. And then we'll just lay all the way down and bring that support right underneath the hips. So then go ahead, once you've got the support in place, and just experiment with one or both legs and see if it feels okay to extend them both down the mat, or if that is a little too much and maybe it creates some sort of issue with the lower back or impingement with the back, you can always bend one leg and then just change back and forth. So the idea here is that we're lifting the hips, we're lengthening the psoas, also known as the hip flexor, and by creating the height, you're just offering a supported extension so that when you begin to settle down and soften into the stretch, then the muscles are going to relax. Blood flow is going to come back around and soothe and warm that area. And in our first couple of minutes here, you can take your hands, you can either leave your hands on your belly, maybe you want to feel the cadence of your breath, fingertips on the belly, or if you like, the hands can be out to the sides or even over your head. Just find a place where your shoulders and upper body can relax. And then start to bring awareness to the length and weight of your legs. So from the waist down, that's half our body. So you figure that's probably half the weight of your body is from the hips down. Just see if you can allow that weight to sink down toward your mat. Almost as if maybe somebody might put sandbags on your feet and really hold them nice and steady. Now, importantly, come back to your breath at this point and see if you can begin to let go of all of the other extraneous thoughts. Our theme of practice for this week is the fourth niyama, known as Svadhyaya. Svadhyaya is sometimes described as self-study, inner study, or just beginning to know the self a little bit deeper. As you begin to know the self, paradoxically, you usually begin to understand yourself and the connection to the larger world, to the universe, and to spirit. So let this practice be a part of that self-discovery. See if you can let go of the labels, of the messages, and just feel exactly where you are at any given time. Right now, notice the feeling of the air on your skin. Notice the feeling of a slight stretch beginning to happen through the upper legs. Notice the feeling of the belly as it rises and falls with each beautiful breath. Perhaps set your own intention for practice this evening. An intention that makes this hour of inner reflection meaningful for you. If you had one leg bent and the other one straight, you might want to change legs if you haven't done so already. We'll stay here for about 8 more breaths. And see if with each round of breath, you can feel your body release and relax. Awareness of the hip region. And send your breath to the hips and pelvis. Four more breaths right here. Last breath, I'd like you to hold the breath at the top of the inhalation. Feel the belly rise. Infuse your body with the energy and the potential that that breath contains. And then let it out. Let's go ahead and bring the feet to the mat. Bend your knees. Press down through the soles of the feet, lift your hips up, and let's remove that blanket support and roll the lower back down one vertebra at a time. Just take a moment here in a neutral posture, pressing down through the lower lumbar spine, feeling some of that blood rush back into the lower hips. Go ahead and extend your left leg down the mat. Draw the right knee into the chest and hug your right knee in. Take a breath here. Go ahead and extend the right foot to the ceiling. Bring your hands around behind the right thigh. And then point the right toes and flex the foot. Point and flex. Point, flex, point, and flex. And then circle the ankle around, almost as if your big toe has a laser pointer on it and you're creating huge blue circles in the sky. Or circle around the other way. And again, notice sensation tonight. Notice each little muscle and how they connect to the others. All right, go ahead and bring that leg down, bend the left knee. Sole of the foot is on the mat, and then right ankle is going to cross over the top of the left thigh. We're going to lift the left foot off the mat, this time interlacing the fingers behind the left thigh, and we're going to press that bent right knee toward the front of the mat. So just using the energy of the leg, we're not pushing on it with the hands. We're just feeling that hip open up and using the strength of the thigh muscles. Breathe in deeply here. Relax and release. Bring the left foot down, bring the right foot down, and then extend the right leg down the mat. Bring the left knee into the chest and hug your left knee in. Slowly begin to rise the left foot. Raise the left foot, bring the sole of the foot upward and interlace your fingers behind the left thigh. Point the toes, flex the left foot. Point and flex. Point and flex. One more time, point, flex, and then begin to circle the ankle around. Back to your breath. Use that breath as your anchor throughout practice, and allow that to help you come back to your intention. Circle the ankle the other direction. Nice big circles, slow. And then we're going to bring that left foot down, slide the right foot back up so that your right knee is bent. Left ankle comes over the top of the right thigh. Lift the right leg up, interlace your fingers behind the right thigh this time, and press that left knee away. This is called Eye of the Needle pose, or sometimes referred to as supine pigeon. Breathe and press that knee away. One more breath. Go ahead and release. Bring the right foot down, uncross the left. Heel toe the feet out to the outer edges of your mat, and just go ahead and create some organic movement with the knees back and forth, windshield wiper knees, back and forth, just like the windshield wipers on my car this afternoon as I was traveling right through that rainstorm, back and go ahead and bring them up to center. We're going to roll to one side and come on up to a seated position. Actually, we're not going to come up to a full seat. We're going to swing around and come down onto the belly. So instead of laying on the back, we'll just could have turned this around on that side, I guess. But we're going to come onto a belly position. And here you may want to have a strap nearby. If you have one handy, we're going to just be lifting the feet and coming into a variation of half bow or Dhanurasana. But to begin, let's come into Sphinx pose. So in Sphinx pose, our elbows are either underneath the shoulders or maybe slightly forward of the shoulders. So your arms are parallel like train tracks in front. Press down through the palms and feel that energy lift up through the palms into the arms and shoulders. Press down through the tops of the feet to activate the legs, and gently press down through the pubic bone, and you will feel the abs engage when you bring all of these things into play. So in Sphinx pose, the neck is nice and relaxed. All of the support is coming from the core, with some balancing coming from the arms and legs, but it's not hunching up around the neck, and your neck can move easily. Let's take a nice breath here in. Exhale. Again, inhale. Exhale. See if you can press your shoulders back a little bit, feeling the scapula, the shoulder blades slide down the back. One more breath. All right, and from this Sphinx pose now, keep everything else in place, but we're simply going to raise the right foot. So immediately, you may feel a stretch in the upper quadricep, the thigh, and that is your psoas coming into play already. So bring your right foot up and just kind of reach it. See if you can reach it as if you're trying to start to touch your backside with the foot. Now, if you like, you can stay here, or you can take that right arm, roll the shoulder back, support yourself through the core, and either lift and reach for your ankle or your foot, or you can have an option and take the strap, loop it around the foot, and simply use that as your leverage. Take a breath here, nice stretch. Never go to pain, just to a deep engagement. Lift up a little higher with the heart, keep your shoulders square to the front, and then release that right foot down. Go ahead and fold both arms in front of your face. Release your forehead all the way down on your forearms for a breath in Makarasana. One full breath all the way in through the body. Feel the belly fill, and then release it all the way out. From this position, we're going to roll over to our right side. So roll on your right side and bring your hand to support your head. Slightly bend the lower leg. So the right leg is underneath. So we're going to slightly bend that to help keep our stability. And then we're going to slowly start to lift the left leg laterally this time. So straight up from the side of the body, lift it, and then descend. This time when you lift, point the toes, and then flex and descend. Inhale, lift and point. Exhale, flex and lower. One more time. Actually, let's do it once more. I like it. One more time. Up, flex and lower. Go ahead and roll back to your belly. Set yourself back up as if we're going into Sphinx pose, but we're just going to go right into that half Dhanurasana, or bow once again. So this time we're lifting the left foot first. Just go slowly. Sometimes if your quads are really tight, then this may be plenty for your stretch, and you don't need to reach back and try to go any further. So this is part of the journey, and listen to your body. But if you like, you can either keep the foot where it is, or you can roll the left shoulder back. Reach back with that left hand and see if you have the ability to grasp your shin, ankle, or foot. If you do make connection, then lift up with the front part of the body. Your core is keeping you steady. We're just feeling the stretch to the extent that it's a deep engagement, but without any pain. If there is pain, then let go and come back down. One more breath. And let's release that foot, lower the leg, back to the belly. This time we're going to roll onto the left side. Bring your head into the left hand to support. Left leg slightly bends underneath. Right leg is going to inhale, lift up laterally as you point. Exhale, flex as you lower. Inhale, point and lift. Exhale, flex and lower. Nice and slow. Inhale, point and lift. And lower. One more time. Point and lift. Exhale, flex and lower. Roll back to your belly. Cross your arms once again and bring your forehead down to the tops of your forearms. Revisit your intention for your practice today. No judgments. Just pay attention to where you are and how you're feeling. Inhale, and let's bring the hands up. We're going to press ourselves up and then go ahead and press all the way back into child's pose. So we're going to let the belly come down in between the knees. Ooh, that feels good on the lower back. At least it does to me. And now you're going to feel a nice little arch rounding in the back as you let the tailbone come down. And your forehead can rest all the way down on the mat if you choose. One full breath. Bring it all the way up the spine. Let it wrap in and over your head, and then release the exhale down into the earth. Okay, come on forward. We're going to come to hands and knees. Do just a couple of cat-cows here to make sure that we have the spine warmed up. So maybe drop the belly down first, and we'll gaze forward, come into cow tilt. And then exhale, press up through the back of the shoulder blades. Chin comes to chest for cat stretch. Inhale to cow. Exhale to cat. A couple times more. One more time through. Under control here so I can see what I'm doing. And then come back to a neutral spine as you're ready. All right, we're going to begin to move a little bit more now. So let's go ahead and lift the knees off the mat, press up and back, and come into downward facing dog. Now in downward facing dog, you want to feel the pads of the fingers pressing down, but you want to feel also energy rising up through the palms. So imagine that energy flow coming all the way to the outsides of your shoulders and broaden your shoulder blades. Press your hips up to the ceiling, but you can keep your knees nice and soft. Just lengthen through the spine. Maybe pedal the feet if you like. Helping to open up those hamstrings a little bit from the backside. And then we'll come forward. We're going to drop the knees, press back to extended child. Inhale, come forward, back to hands and knees. Exhale, back, downward facing dog. This time, let's walk the feet forward, come to the front of the mat. We're going to come to a forward fold, Uttanasana. Bring your blocks here if that helps to have your hands reach the mat. And maybe just take a second and sway back and forth. Again, your knees can be soft if you like. They can always be soft. You're aiming to have them straight, but it's okay if they don't straighten all the way. Take a nice breath in. Let's come up halfway to Ardha Uttanasana. lifting through the crown of the head, reaching it forward. Once again, shoulders are going to slide down the back. Exhale and hinge from your hips to forward fold. This time, press down through your feet. Activate your legs and core as you lift up. Arms are going to reach all the way overhead. Exhale, take a very slight back bend as you lift your heart toward the ceiling. Exhale, swan dive, come forward again, forward fold. Inhale, lifting halfway, flatten out your back. Exhale and forward fold. We're going to step back to a plank. So find yourself in a plank position. Stack your shoulders over your wrists. Once again, bring that energy up through the palms of the hands and broaden your shoulder blades. Nice breath here. And then we're going to lower the knees, lower all the way down, come onto your belly. And then as you lift back up, come into a small cobra. Exhale, releases you down. Inhale, presses back up. And then exhale, back downward facing dog. Walk the feet forward, come to the front of the mat. Inhale, lifts you halfway up. Exhale, descends down, forward fold. Inhale, lifts all the way up this time. Arms reach up overhead. Exhale, slight back bend. Upward facing hand on the inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale and lift. Exhale and fold. Once again, step back to plank. This time we're going to only hold this plank for a moment, and then we're going to lower the body, dropping the knees, and then dropping the body down. Exhale all the way as you descend. Inhale, press up for cobra. Exhale, descend down again. Inhale, press yourself back up. And then exhale, back to downward facing dog. Come on forward to your knees, come down to tabletop. We're going to take the right leg forward between the front hands as we set up for a low runner's lunge. Using blocks anytime to help facilitate a really nice alignment with your lunge. Lift up through that left knee and feel yourself lengthening forward. Imagine that the crown of your head is magnetic and it's being pulled up at the incline. Your tail is being pulled the other direction. Your back is nice and strong. Deep breath here. Let's go ahead and plant the left hand down, either on the mat or the block. Right arm comes into a T off the shoulder. Move your belly to the right and lift up for your lunging twist. Exhale, brings your right hand back down. And we're going to lower the left knee. Now, we're really trying to stretch the psoas tonight, so make sure you feel a nice long line on that left side, all the way from the knee up to the hip. Breathe here and just take a moment. Let your pelvis sink down. Let your seat feel the effects of gravity pulling it downward toward the earth. Just letting the weight and the energy of the earth's pull help to open up your body. All right, from here we're going to start to lift up. So engage your core, and we're going to bring first hands to the tops of your right thigh. As you come into this initial position for Anjaneyasana, think about your tailbone lengthening down. The crown of your head is reaching up. Inner thighs reach toward each other. So feel the plumb line, the center channel of your body really strengthening here. And then as you're ready, gently lift the arms up. Nice deep breath brings your fingers all the way to the ceiling. Exhale, bring those hands right back down. Start to walk the hands backwards, either with just your fingers or by bringing the blocks with you, and straighten the right leg. As you straighten that leg all the way and then flex through the foot, press back with the right hip. Draw the left hip forward. This helps to square the hips and really engages the stretch in the appropriate way. Take a nice breath in, come up to fingertips. Exhale and fold over your right leg. One more breath here. And exhale. Walk those hands back, forward again. The hands are now going to frame the front foot. Lift the left knee back up off the mat. Low runner's lunge. Transitioning to high lunge. You're going to attempt to stay on the ball of the left foot as you rise up. So engage your core and start to lift your body up. Once again, tailbone lengthens down, crown lifts up. Open up the space between the vertebrae to really support the spine. Nice breath here. And exhale, bring the hands back down to the mat. Go ahead and lower the left knee. Bring the right knee back up under the body, tabletop, and press back to a nice, long, extended child. One full round of breath here. All right. Come on back up to your tabletop position. This time we're going to bring the left foot forward between the hands. Lifting the right knee up. Come into that nice, long, low runner's lunge. Again, make sure that your neck feels nice and open. Don't be hunching your shoulders up near the neck. But when you find the strength through the center of the body, that's where your support comes from. Nice deep breath here. And then we'll plant the right hand down either on a block or the mat. Left arm comes into a T, and then move your belly to the left, eventually moving the arm and hand as you go. Find your twist. Nice deep breath at the top of that twist. And then left arm comes back down to unwind. Drop the right knee straight down on the mat. Uncurl the toes. Take a breath here. We're going to let the gravity, the energy of the earth help us open on that right psoas. Mine's been really tight lately, so this has been a great exercise to go through. I've done this a couple times this week, so it's really very useful. If you sit a lot in your job, then this is a great stretch for you. All right, so we're going to go ahead and lift up now. Bring the hands to the top of the left thigh. Start to find your length through the spine once again. Remember to tuck that tailbone so that it's pressing down toward the earth. And then eventually you can lift your arms up. Inner thighs are strong and leaning toward each other to stabilize you. Exhale, bring the hands back down, and then we'll immediately start to walk them backwards, straightening the left leg and flexing that left foot. This is half Hanumanasana or half splits. Press back through the left hip and draw the right hip forward. Make that correction because almost all of us tend to get a little bit off center. And we need you make that correction, boy, you'll feel a difference in the stretch for sure. Nice deep breath in, and then you can fold over the left leg if you wish. Honor your body. Never going to pain, but just to a deep engagement. All right, start to walk the hands forward. We're going to come back to low lunge to begin. Lift the right knee up. And start to harness your energy up the center channel as we step up and move into high crescent lunge. So stay on the ball of your right foot if you can. If you need to drop the heel for stability, that is fine. And feel that strength going right up and down the plumb line of your body. Revisit your intention. Stay strong and focused. Exhale, brings the hands back down to the mat for blocks. Bring the right knee down. Bring the left leg back up underneath tabletop. And then we'll press back to a nice long extended child. Take a couple of extra breaths. Cleansing and cleaning the body. Offering energy. All right, and come on forward. Actually, come on back to your seat. I'm going to demonstrate one really quick little movement because we're going to incorporate it into a sun salutation C that we're about to do. So if you're not familiar with Sun Sal C or you haven't done it in a while, unlike the other salutations where we're lowering the body either on the knees or from a plank position, and we're lowering the whole body as a unit, in Sun Salutation C, we incorporate a transition move called Ashtanga Pranam. Some people call it Ashtanga Namaskar. But Ashtanga Pranam asks us to keep the booty, the hips high in the air. So the way that we transition to the lowering position is that we're going to lower the chin and the chest. We're going to keep the hips high, and then we slide through to our cobra or up dog. So it's a little bit of a different transition. Again, we don't do it very often, so I just wanted to demonstrate. And you can take a second here and try it on your own before we throw it into our Surya Namaskar. So the way we'll do this one more time, if you want to demonstrate, if you want to try it with me, is think about your chin and your chest, lowering first. So elbows are going to go straight back, chin and chest are diving down, and then you're sliding through and then coming into your cobra. It is not the easiest transition, and if you just need to get there any way you get there, that's okay too. But we're going to give it a try with our Sun Salutation C. So let's go ahead, we'll just lift our knees up. We'll just come on up to the front of the mat and start from a standing position. All right, so what time we got? Okay, ooh. Might not even have time for our dancer pose. We'll see. All right, so root your feet. Take a nice breath in. We're going to inhale, bring the arms up and overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Lengthen through your spine. Exhale, hinge and fold. From here, we're going to step back with the left leg. Immediately coming into a low lunge and then dropping that left knee just as we did a moment ago for Anjaneyasana. And then immediately lifting up, arms are going to reach. Exhale if you wish into a slight back bend. And back down to the mat. Inhale, lift up the left knee. Right leg slides back to plank. And then Ashtanga Pranam. Drop the knees, lower chin and chest. Hips are high. And then slither through to your cobra, inhaling as you lift. Exhaling back to downward facing dog. Inhaling, lift your right leg up. And then we're going to bring that right leg all the way through to the front of the mat, or you can take a two-step approach, dropping the knees if you wish. Coming into low lunge, we'll drop the left knee this time. Inhaling brings your body up. Exhale if you wish, slight back bend. Inhaling back up, and then exhaling back down to the mat. Inhaling, slide your right foot back into plank position. Exhaling, we're going to lower the knees and lower the chin and the chest. Hips high, Ashtanga Pranam. Inhaling comes up to your cobra. Exhaling back to downward facing dog. Walk the feet forward, come to the front of the mat. Come to Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Reach those arms overhead. Exhale, bring hands to heart. Concluding our Surya Namaskar C. Take one nice deep breath in mountain position. Feel your feet rooted. Revisit your intention for your practice this evening. All right, inhale, open your eyes. We're going to bring the arms directly up, and we're going to step back with the left foot into Warrior One. So in Warrior One, we've got the hips square to the front. Heart is lifted. Nice deep breath in, opens the heart. Feel the collarbones widen. Strength in those legs. Exhale. We're going to bring the arms forward. We're going to reach those hands forward, forward, forward. And then we're going to press into a Warrior Three. You can either keep the hands forward or they can come to the heart, lifting the left leg. Just a momentary Warrior Three. And then we're going to step that left leg back again into Warrior One and lift the arms back up. Stepping forward to the front of the mat. We're going to lift the right arm straight up. The left arm is going to roll back, and we're going to lift the left foot off of the mat, preparing for a variation of dancer. So if you can, you're going to reach back and see if you can reach that left foot. And this may be perfectly fine to stay here. If you can't reach the left foot easily, you can always loop a strap around that foot and bring the strap over your shoulder. But one of those two variations, holding the foot, see if you can press now that foot behind you and lengthen through the hip flexor, roll the left shoulder back. Try to maintain your balance. And then drop the left foot, allow it to come back down. Right arm comes back down. Take a breath here. And then we'll go through that transition on the other, or that sequence on the other side. So let's take the right leg back for Warrior One. Inhale, arms up. Reach and expand the heart. Nice deep breath in. Exhale. Reach the arms forward. Reach, reach, reach. And then decide how you'd like to transition to your Warrior Three, either with the arms reaching forward or perhaps at the heart. the right leg up, balancing. Find a place to focus your attention. And then we're going to step back with that right foot once again. As it lands, the arms come back up for Warrior One once again. Now for Warrior One, we're simply going to step forward with the right foot. Left arm reaches straight up to the ceiling. Right shoulder rolls back. Bring your balance and weight to the left foot. Reach up with the right foot and see if you can grasp your foot with your hand or use the strap as that variation. From here, we're going to press the right foot away, pressing it backward. Hips are staying square to the front. One more breath. And then bring the right foot down, release the grasp. Left hand comes down. Nice breath here in mountain pose. Reach both arms up and then exhale as you descend, forward fold. And then from here, we're simply going to bring the legs down all the way. And go ahead and come to a seated position. Give your legs around in front. And we have one more active pose to do on our backs. So roll all the way down. If you'll recall, we started out the practice in a supported passive bridge. But now that we've done all of this strengthening and lengthening, we're going to go into a full active bridge pose. So with your feet hip distance apart, your hands are on either side of your hips. First, bring your awareness to your feet. Feel all four corners of your feet pressing down into the mat and energy coming up through the arches. Take a breath in. We're going to bring a pelvic tilt and then lift the hips right off of the mat. So as you're lifting the hips, you're activating the strength in your core. You're activating those hip flexors. Breathe and press down into your shoulders. See if you can create a nice, steady, strong bridge from shoulders to knees. Your knees are pressing forward. Your inner thighs are squeezing and helping to lift. Perhaps you bring your hands underneath your hips, and sometimes that can help with the lift even further by pressing down from your shoulders and forearms. One more breath here, stay strong. And then exhale, release your hands, slowly descend your spine one vertebra at a time. Whoa, that feels good. As you bring your back down, let's bring both feet up to the ceiling, coming into a sweet Ananda Balasana. Slide your hands up your shins and either grasp your ankles or your feet. Just press down and feel the support and the weight all the way up and down the spine. Breathe and relax. Rock back and forth if that feels good. All right, and then go ahead and bring your feet back down to the mat. Remaining time, we'll just go ahead and extend the legs down the mat here and come into a full Shavasana position. So we have really stretched and worked the body from top to bottom. And if you'll recall at the beginning of practice, I asked you to see if you could just tap into the sensation of what your body was feeling. As we wind up our practice today, see if you can identify the ways that your body is feeling now without attaching any particular words, but just noticing the shift in the energy, the shift in your temperature, the shift in your state of mind. This is all part of understanding yourself from an inner perspective and knowing more about who you are and what your yoga practice means to you. Begin to offer your breath back into the body with more intention. With more awareness of your place and space in your your surroundings as you transition back into the rest of your evening. Practice by offering this quote from Swami Vivekananda. You yourselves are the being you are seeking. This is what we learn through our practice of yoga. If you wish, bring your arms up and overhead. And then you can come down to the heart center. Bowing your head in Anjali Mudra. Thank you so much for practicing with me this evening. Let your practice be your own journey into your self-awareness. As Swami Vivekananda says, you yourself are the being you are seeking. Om Shanti and Namaste.